Okay, now this is Thanksgiving morning, and I'm going to do some more prep work here, getting things ready to go in the oven. The first thing to do is the dressing. And to start it off, I need a half a stick of butter. I'm going to use the pot that I cook the chicken in, because it's the only thing I have that's big enough to make it. We'll let that melt. And in the meantime, I've already prepped the onions, celery, and green pepper to go in when the butter is melted in the pot. Okay, the butter's melted, so it's everybody into the pool. Onions, green pepper, celery. That's the holy trinity of dressing. Some Texans like to use jalapenos in place of the green pepper. I stick with the green pepper. What I'm going to do now is just let this hang out at kind of a low heat and sweat the onions and celery. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think time to start putting this bad boy together. Here's some of the bread I've been saving and already prepared for it. It's half cornbread and half dinner rolls that I cubed up. I like a little white bread in there. It gives a certain smoothness. As I said, I've been saving bread for the last week or two, and going to need to make this pot about half full or a little better for the size dish I'm making. And here's some cornbread muffins. There's no right or wrong in making this. It all works out in the end no matter what you do. I want to season it now. This is basil leaves. About a half a teaspoon of that, I'd say. And this is black pepper. Close to a teaspoon of that. And this is oregano, which is a close cousin to sage. But sage is the main ingredient in the way of seasoning. So I'm going to want about 2 to 3 teaspoons of that. I'll put in 2 now and taste and see how it's working out and adjust from there. Now, if you don't want to buy these individual ones, you can just get some poultry seasoning, which is the same basic mixture and the same seasonings. Tumble that in there. And get my stock over here, which has been warming. Pour in quite a lot of it. Takes a lot more stock than most people would think, and that's not near enough there. And at this point, well, that stock is a little hot to mix eggs with. Probably cook them. Need a couple beaten eggs. spoonful of stock in there just to help them mix. And fold that in. Still a little bit shy on bread. Well, I need some more stock. Now the good thing about it, I got a lot of stock when I cooked that chicken. This isn't all I've got by any means. I saved back some in case I had too much and I wanted to make chicken and dumplings or something like that. Cold, but that won't make any real difference. This is getting to be about the right consistency. You want it so it kind of pours. That's still a little bit thick. If I ran out of stock here, I could open up a can or two of chicken broth. That's looking about right there. I want to taste at this point for salt and sage. I think it needs a little more of both, so I'll spike them up a little. Okay, this is a 9 by 13 pan. Spray it with whatever kind of lubricant I have there, or cooking oil, and we'll start putting this puppy together. Want to fill this about half full right now. Now a lot of people just go ahead and mix the chicken with this, but I like to put it in layers, and that way no matter where you dip into it, you're assured of getting some chicken. And this is the chicken that I made and boned last night. And just start in making a layer. There's a big piece that's going to have to be torn up. Okay, got it covered with chicken. Be sure to put plenty in each corner, because whoever takes the corner, if you don't have it out there, they get shorted on chicken. And just take the rest of this. Depending on me to make a mess. And spread it over the top. That's the thing about it, I've got a lot of cleanup to do once I've finished. Now I'll cover this with foil and set it aside. It's ready to go into the oven about an hour before time to serve. Okay, it's getting time to crank up the sides. I drained this can of green beans and I'm going to use this one with the liquid in them. They just go into a pan. And here's some cooked and crumbled bacon that's going in with the green beans. The seasoning. That ought to do that. Put them on warm. And the next is the corn. I drained the corn here. This is whole kernel. And with it, can opener didn't work very well on this. Cut my thumb there. It's cream style corn. I like to mix the two of them together. They just seem to work real well. Put that over there on warm on those. And this is the sweet potatoes. Drain the liquid off here and them into a baking dish. Now I'm going to dump about half of this liquid that came off of them and make the other half into a syrup to go over them. I tossed about half the liquid that came in the sweet potatoes, and then goes about a half cup of brown sugar. Turn the oven on to 350. I've already got the dressing in there covered. And into this goes some cinnamon, quite a bit of it. And a very small amount of cloves, ground cloves, because it really gets going in a hurry, and that's about all you should put in. Cloves are very strong spice, and they'll just cover up everything else. I'll let this come to a boil and look at it then and see how heavy it is. The potatoes won't need to go into the oven until about halfway done on the dressing. Dressing needs about an hour in there, and it is now 3 minutes till 11, which should make things come out just about right. And here we have a typical cowboy Thanksgiving dinner.